Welcome back, Rams, and welcome in, Jack. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Thank you for coming in. We're so excited to have you on desk here with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
So we just kind of wanted to start asking some questions about you and your band. Like, who is Costanza, and like, what does it mean to you?
Yeah, Costanza started for me in high school, actually, like early high school. We would just like steal YouTube beats and rap over them, and it was like a hip hop project. And then through college, I started playing guitar and made a couple bands through going to school in Chicago, and then moved out here and found the rhythm section through Craigslist and found the guitarist through a studio here called Chop City Studios. And then, this band has just clicked really well. So it's like a project of mine that I've had for a long time, but this is definitely, from the live side and the collaborative side, the most excited I've ever been about like the group side of making music together with those guys is awesome. So yeah.
So did you just like find people from like random places, or just like Craigslist? Like, did you know any of the people in your band before you guys started playing together?
No, not at all. No, I didn't know anyone out here when I moved out here. And so it was a Craigslist ad. The drummer answered it, and then he was like, my best friend is a bassist, and he's really good. We played together in other bands. So I was like, well, once the rhythm section's locked in, that gets people dancing, and then made a couple adjustments and changes. But once we found David on guitar, it was like, all right, this is the crew. Let's do it.
So that's so cool.
Yeah, super fun.
So we saw that you're originally from Chicago, but what brought you to Fort Collins, and what do you like about the Fort Collins music scene?
Yeah, great question. I went to school in Chicago, and honestly, by the end of my time there, I was just getting tired of being like broke and like like just being like the city is so hard, you know. So I just wanted to go somewhere that was prettier and to like slow down and just kind of focus on music. And I didn't really know how long I'd stay. I was like, I just got to get out of the city. And then I got here, and I just really, really liked it a lot. And the scene is awesome. It's a lot less gate kept than Chicago. Like, there's a lot more stuff to just show up to and jam out, and the venues are a little easier to get in touch with. And it just feels super welcoming. And I've just, the amount of talent here is wild. Like, I'm always a little bit surprised why more people haven't like blown up, but as the town gets bigger, and I think the community just keeps getting stronger, like I think it's going to be a big town for a while for music, because the talent is more than here. So
no, there's definitely some really talented people here in Fort Collins. Is that kind of what brought you, was the music scene, or was it just the fact that it was like a smaller town? It
was definitely like learning about the music district, learning about all that like Bohemian Foundation does, and all that was like, oh wow, this is, because I knew I wanted to go to Colorado. I've always liked Colorado and felt like it'd be a good place to kind of like simplify a little. But when we started doing research on like the best places to make music, it was like either Denver or Fort Collins, no doubt. And I didn't really want to do another city, and so the music scene and the emphasis on music and arts here was like a huge draw for sure.
That's pretty cool. Well, I'm glad that we got you here instead of Denver.
Happy to be here.
So we're wondering, the song that you just played, I Don't Mind, has gotten over 2 million streams on Spotify. Why do you think that is, and what kind of inspired the song?
Great question. I would say the biggest reason is because of Discover Weekly on Spotify. I don't really know how the algorithm works. I don't understand the beast that it is, but there was just one day where I was looking at the like stats and numbers and stuff, and all of a sudden it had like quintupled in a day, and I was like, why? And then the next day it tells you, and it was all just Discover Weekly. I like to think that it's because it's also a good song. I like that it's hopefully part of it. But
no, I mean, it is catchy. It's got a good little catchy tune to it.
It was basically just that song, unlike any other one, just caught the right time on the algorithm. And it's a long distance relationship song, and it came out the day before lockdown. Like all the lines about like missing someone or like FaceTime calls, like I think that also just coincidentally like tied in with people just missing people in their life in general, whether romantic or not. The goal, I was saying like the other day talking about it, it was with me and my friend Ryan Adams. We went out to LA and recorded it with Peter Fenn and Val Fitz. And we went out there with the sole goal of like, I just want to see if we can make one that like doesn't leave your head. like one chorus in and you know it. And so it was designed to be like a catchy song, and I guess it worked. So,
no, I definitely would say that it would. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to that long distance kind of relationship going on, especially with COVID and everything that's happened recently. Like, people have had to move apart from each other. So good timing.
Good timing. So what got you really into music, and who would you say your musical inspiration is, like kind of for your genre?
My parents love music, but they don't play it like a ton. My mom plays piano. My dad's always been into like recording stuff, and he actually builds the guitars that I play now. So he's always been in like the technical side, like the audio side, and my mom just like loves to like dance and sing and play piano, and so it's always huge in our house. So that got me like interested in it, at least as like I got to see a little bit of how it was recorded, or like, got to see my mom actually like play, and so that like made it seem a little less abstract from the beginning. And then it was my buddy Omar Cashow in high school who we just used to, once we got our license, we would just play hip hop beats and just like freestyle and drive around, wasting so much gas. Whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was just fun. Like, there was no need to know how to play anything. We would just rap and sing over these beats. And so then, yeah, it just kind of kept getting more and more like, oh, well, what if we tried to make our own beats? Or like, oh, what if we, instead of taking guitar samples, like I picked up a guitar. And so, but yeah, working with Omar like early in high school was certainly the point that it went from like, I like this to like, oh, I want to keep getting better. And we would push each other and play house shows and stuff like that. So,
cool.
That's really cool.
yeah. And then as far as like an inspiration goes, it's always tricky. I guess I would just more so say the things I'm listening to like right now. There's not like one person that I was like always trying to be, but a while ago, like when I was younger, I was really into like George Watsky, who's like a rapper slam poet, and so I was always into like the really lyrical stuff rap wise, and then I was into like Cage the Elephant, and that kind of brought in sort of the like more rock stuff, and then Corey Wong and Wolfpack for the kind of like funkier things. But right now I'm just obsessed with this band called Wet Leg that I can't get enough of. They're so good.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Jack, for joining us tonight. If you want to check him out, his music is on all streaming platforms. Also, really big thank you to KCSU FM for helping us out tonight. Stay tuned, Rams. After the break, Naomi and I will be giving you some hot new music recommendations.